joining me here today. My name is Elise and I'm a certified yoga instructor with Zesty Fitness. Today we'll be doing a 20-minute class focused on stress relief. So we're going to be doing a vinyasa yoga flow while incorporating specific poses that can help to regulate our breathing, regulate stress levels, and help bring us back to a grounded state centered. So this is a great practice for you to use whenever you are feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or anxious. And you can simply follow along with me and I'll be guiding you throughout the entire practice. So when you're ready, we can go ahead and begin on our mats or in any comfortable place within your home. Just make sure that it's a quiet and comfortable place where you feel comfortable practicing. So thank you again for joining me, and when you're ready, let's go ahead and get started on our mats. So on our mats, let's go ahead and to start, we're going to come into our bound angle pose. So this is going to be when we put the soles of our feet together and bring those feet in towards our pelvis, allowing a deep stretch throughout the inner thighs here. So placing our hands down towards our feet, we can draw the shoulders back, stretching here. Take a long deep breath in and release. Inhale, let's swing over towards that left side, bringing the right arm across the left knee. Breathing here as we gaze over our shoulder. Inhale, stretching a bit deeper. And exhale, returning back to center. This time, let's inhale, bringing that arm all the way back and bringing our left arm across the right knee, gazing over that right shoulder this time. Inhale, stretching a bit deeper. And exhale to release back to center. From here, let's go ahead and extend those legs out in front of us, and we can come into a seated forward fold. So together, let's inhale, breathing up, we're reaching those arms up above our head, allowing a slight arch in the spine. And exhale, reaching down towards our feet here. Just breathing here, stretching towards those toes. Inhale, gazing up. Exhale, sinking back down. Inhale, rising back up. And exhale, let's bring those knees under our body into our hero's pose, where we have the glutes rested on the heels of our feet. From here, we can come into our child's pose, walking our hands out all the way in front of our body. We're going to stretch the upper body here, and you can rest your forehead down flat on the mat in front of you. So keeping those glutes pressed down on the heels, we're going to stretch those arms out in front of us. Just breathing here, trying to stretch out as far as we can, reaching forward. Breathing here. When you're ready, let's inhale, gazing towards those fingertips. We're going to push up into a tabletop position on our mats. So within the tabletop position, we want to have those wrists placed directly underneath the shoulders and have the knees stacked directly below the hips. So with shoulder width and hip width apart, in our tabletop position, let's go ahead and come into our cat and cow breathing. So as we inhale, you're going to want to arch that spine, tucking the chin here into cat. And exhale, releasing that spine down and lifting the chin, gazing forward. Inhale, arching the spine, tucking the chin here. Exhale, sinking down and lifting the head. One more time up into cat. And exhale into cow. You can continue this for a few more breaths at your own pace, following your own natural breathing rhythm. one more time when you're ready. Inhale. And exhale, lifting that head, gazing forward. Inhale, coming up into cat. And exhale, sink the glutes back, kneading back into that child's pose. Resting the forehead on the mat. Breathe in as you stretch just a bit farther here. And exhale to sink into the child's pose. Child's pose is one of the best asanas that we can do for stress release to help keep us grounded and in the present moment here. Allowing our blood flow and oxygen to flow effortlessly throughout the whole body. When you're ready, let's inhale, gazing towards those fingertips. This time we're going to push to that tabletop and come all the way forward, dropping our chest down through the mat. From here, we're going to lift up into our cobra. So placing those palms down directly below the shoulders, we're going to tuck those elbows into the side of our body, keeping them close to our torso. Let's inhale together, lifting up from the wrists, up off the mat. You want to keep a slight bend in the elbows as they're tucked in close to the chest. And you don't want to engage the glutes here, but simply draw those shoulders back, keeping the gaze forward, slightly up. Opening the chest here. Exhale, releasing back down to the mat, sinking down here. Let's do this one more time. Inhale, pushing up into our cobra, keeping the elbows slightly bent. From here, we're going to go ahead and tuck our toes. And inhale, pushing up, keeping those toes tucked. You can straighten the elbows now. This is our upward facing dog position. Exhale here. Inhale, let's push up into a high plank. And exhale, sinking the hips back. We're going to meet into our first downward facing dog. So for our first downward facing dog of our practice, we can go ahead and walk the dog, just pedaling our knees here. So you can bend each knee one at a time until you start to feel more comfortable in this stretch. We want to keep the pelvis lifted up and back. So just go ahead and stretch here. We want to make sure that we're evenly distributing the weight between our palms and our heels so that we're not too far forward on either side. So regulating our breathing with each time we pedal here. Now let's straighten those legs and exhale, pushing back. You can allow a generous bend within the knees here, or you can straighten if this is more comfortable for you, but you'll receive the exact same benefits from either asana. So from here, let's go ahead and inhale. Let's lift that left leg coming up into a three-legged downward facing dog. And exhale, we're going to bring it down and drop that knee in between the palms of our hands into a pigeon pose. So inhale, we're going to walk those palms towards our hips and draw the shoulders back. Breathing here, opening the chest, and exhale, we can sink down onto our forearms into this pigeon pose, feeling a deep stretch throughout the hips and thighs. So just connecting to your breath here, you can either rest your forehead down onto your knuckles, or simply leave it elevated here, keeping a flat back. Inhale, let's go ahead and lift up onto those fingertips, walking them back towards the center of our hips, drawing the shoulders back. Inhale here, exhale. Inhale, let's tuck that back right foot, tucking the toes here. We're going to inhale, lifting up off the mat, and exhale, sinking back into our three-legged downward facing dog. Inhale, stretching a bit deeper here, and exhale to release both feet back down into our downward facing dog. From here, let's inhale, we're going to bring up that right leg, this time keeping the hips square. And exhale, we're going to drop that knee down between the palms of our hands, sinking back into this pigeon on the right side. So like on the left, we're going to walk those hands back to center, drawing the shoulders back and opening the chest here. Inhale, breathing in. And exhale, we can sink down into a deeper stretch, coming down onto our forearms. Again, in this position, you can either rest your forehead down onto the knuckles here, or keep it lifted. We're just going to connect to our breath here, just sinking with each exhale. Inhale, gazing forward, we're going to press up onto those fingertips, coming back to the center, drawing the shoulders back. Exhale, resting the hands down. We're going to tuck the toes of the left foot this time, pushing up as we inhale into a high plank. And exhale, coming back into that three-legged downward facing dog. Inhale, stretching a bit deeper here. And exhale back into our downward facing dog. From here, let's inhale, gazing towards those fingertips. We're going to walk our feet to meet our hands, coming into a standing forward fold. Exhale to release, sinking down into this stretch. There's a few different variations that we can do within our standing forward fold. First thing to remember is that you can allow a generous bend in your knees if that's more comfortable for you. You're going to receive the same stress relieving benefits from the asana whether your knees are straight or bent. So just make sure that you feel comfortable in this stretch, whichever way you choose. So from here we can do either our regular stretch or a big toe standing forward fold. So to try that, you want to take your middle finger and index finger and we're going to bring them under the big toe on either foot. Lifting up, that's going to pull a deeper stretch through the legs. Inhale, bringing those fingers underneath, and exhale, sinking into the stretch. Feeling grounded here. Inhale, pressing onto those fingertips, let's gaze forward. And as we exhale, let's sink down, moving towards the left side of the body. So reaching towards that left foot and across. Exhale, sinking deeper into the stretch here. Continuing to breathe. Inhale, I'm going to bring that left arm across to the right leg, really trying to stretch, gazing over that left shoulder here. And exhale, turning back to center. Inhale, I'm going to press up onto those fingertips, gazing forward. And exhale, bringing those arms across to the right side this time. Breathing into the stretch. On my next inhale, I'm going to bring that right arm and bring it across towards the left leg, gazing over my right shoulder here. Feeling a nice deep stretch. And exhale to return back to center. One more variation that we can include here is to come towards our elbows. So you can place either palm on the elbows and just simply allow the upper body to hang here. And we can swing back and forth gently here in this standing forward fold. This can help to regulate our blood flow, regulate the circulation of oxygen going throughout the whole body, decreasing the sensations of stress and anxiety within the physical body. Exhale, dropping the hands down. Let's inhale, pressing up, gazing forward. And exhale, sink those knees down, coming back onto the mat. From here, we can find ourselves in a seated position on our mats. Inhale together, reaching up. Exhale, bringing the hands to heart center. Let's go ahead and release back down into a reclined position on the mat. From here, we're going to inhale, drawing those knees in towards our chest and wrapping our fingers on the outside of the leg. Let's exhale, bringing the stretch in deeper towards our chest. Breathing and sinking into this asana. You can make a small circular motion here, starting with very tight, small circles with the hips. And slowly, one by one, allow the circles to get slightly bigger. Continuing in the same pattern. Allowing the circle to become wide as you stretch the hips and legs here. And coming back to center, let's start again going in the opposite direction. Making slow circular motions, tight circles, slowly expanding. Following the natural rhythm of your breath. And inhale wherever you are. Let's go ahead, wrap those hands around the outside of the shins and draw those knees in tight towards our chest here. Exhale to release, lowering those legs down flat in front of us. From here, we can come back into that bound angle pose that we started with, but this time in a supine reclined position. So bringing the soles of the feet together here. We're going to bend those knees, coming back into that bound angle butterfly stretch that we started with here. So opening up the thighs. You can place your arms either on the inner thighs or on your torso here. Simply feeling the stretch throughout the thighs and hips. Continue to breathe into this stretch. Allowing it to deepen with each breath. Inhale here, let's place the soles of the feet flat into the mat, drawing those knees up. Exhale, sinking into the mat. This time, let's inhale. We're going to meet up into a seated position back onto the mat here. And from here, we can go ahead and meet up in the center. Thank you so much for joining me here today for our 20-minute stress relieving yoga class. This class has specific asanas and poses that you can come back to at certain times throughout your practice so that you can feel more aligned and calm throughout your day. You can do these poses as a sequence following through this class, or you can practice each pose individually at your own time if you only have 5 minutes. Practice holding that pose throughout the entirety of your practice. So thank you again so much for joining me. I'm here with Zesty Fitness, and I hope to see you back here again shortly. Thank you so much, and namaste. Namaste. Carry this inner peace and lightness throughout your day today, reminding yourself to come back to the natural rhythm of your breath. Thank you.